So this week we're starting our study of normative ethics, which is the study of different principles that we can use to categorize all these different morally fraught actions into actions that are morally wrong on the one hand versus actions that are morally permissible or even morally obligatory or required on the other hand. And what we'll do is we'll look at a couple different normative theories which each give different principles for categorizing actions in this way. So we'll look at three main different normative ethical theories. This week we're taking a look at deontological normative theories. Next week we'll take a look at consequentialism, and then we'll also take a look at a kind of normative theory called a virtue ethics. But this week we're just going to focus on deontology. So deontology comes from the ancient Greek word ontos, which means obligation or duty. And what deontology says is, well, the difference between actions that are morally wrong versus actions that are morally permissible is whether in performing those actions you're respecting other people's rights and whether you're performing your duties. So deontologists don't think that it matters what the consequences of those actions might be, whether anyone gets harmed or hurt when you perform those actions. No, what matters is whether you're respecting people's rights and you're performing your duties. Now, in general, a right is just something that people have. That means that if you fail to do something for them, well, then you've done something morally wrong. So we saw an example in Thompson's paper about abortion where she asks, well, what does the right to life consist in? We might agree that we all have a right to life. Now, one thing you might think a right to life is, it means, well, if you fail to give me anything that I need in order to survive, well, then you've violated my right to life. You've disrespected my right. Now, Thompson, of course, argues that that's not what the right to life is, but if it were, it would be an instance of a right, because it would be an instance where if you fail to do something that I have a right to, well, then you've done something morally wrong. Similarly, in general, a duty is just something that you're morally obligated to do. So if you fail to perform your duty, you've done something morally wrong. So now what you can see is that you can have different flavors of deontology depending on, well, just which rights you think people have and which duties you think people have. What we're going to do this week is take a look at a particular flavor of deontology, which was inspired by the philosopher Immanuel Kant. But what all of these theories of deontology have in common is that they say, look, the kinds of actions that are morally wrong are the kinds of actions in which you're violating people's rights and failing to perform your duties. Whereas other actions, those actions are morally permissible. It's okay for you to do them because you're respecting people's rights and you're performing your duties. Now, of course, as we just noted, gosh, a lot is going to hinge here on just exactly which rights and duties people have. So, in the next video, we'll take a look at Immanuel Kant's theory about just which duties we have and what rights we have. Spoiler, that is the duty and that is the basic right that he thinks that everyone has. I'll expand more upon what Kant means by that in the next video.